Yo, what is good, YouTube, and welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we are going to be ranking every single 100 overall that is currently available in NBA 2K24 MyTEAM from worst to best. Now, been thinking about doing this video for a little bit, but then they dropped that 100 overall option pack for collector level yesterday, which again, one of the worst things that 2K has ever done. Taking away Kobe Bryant, using him for profit as promotion for collector level this year, and then taking it away at the last minute, literally the last minute, is one of the most unacceptable, gross, terrible things that, in my opinion, we have literally ever seen in my team. And so I'm not going to stand here and support that in the slightest. I think they made that very clear in yesterday's video and have continued to. But for the time being, I really don't have much choice. I got to keep making videos. And I do hope this video at least does help some of y'all out who are actually going to be completing collector level still. And this gives y'all a good picture in terms of who I would recommend choosing, because the collector level 100 overall option pack includes every one of these cards except for Yao. The fact that Yao is not included in it, in my opinion, again, is kind of disgraceful. But again, 2K is awful. What else is there to say? With that being said, though, before we hop in, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Help me push towards the 25,000 subscriber mark on the channel. I upload every single day. Would really appreciate it if y'all do subscribe. Without further ado, let's hop right into it. Let's start off with Shaq. Shaq's going to be 7'1" with a 7'7" wingspan, hotspots from literally everywhere. 45 Hall of Fame badges, I should say. The thing about Shaq is, despite him being an amazing 100 overall, all that type of stuff, number one, he doesn't have Agent 3. He needs some badges. His gold badges shooting-wise could be a little better. Gold badges playmaking-wise could be a little better if we're looking for things to nitpick. But obviously, all these 100 overalls are basically perfect in terms of their stats and badges. The problem with Shaq is he's got a bad escape, Levine escape. He also has a bad release, the worst release of any card of this list. So I think he both has the worst release of any card of this list and some of the worst movement. And in my opinion, those two things combined make him 100% the worst 100 overall and put him at number 11. Number 10 is going to be, actually, I say that, I've changed my mind. Number 11 is actually Michael Jordan. 6'6" with a 6'11" wingspan. This card and his Dark Matter, by the way, are the exact same card, and they do the exact same thing on the court. He has, yes, perfect sigs, Kyrie dribble style, Francis size of Kemba escape, Jamal Murray behind the back, John Wall drag back, basically perfect sigs, Pro 2 fade. But his release itself is also horrible, and that does hurt this card a lot, just like Shaq. And the thing about him is, his release being horrible, just like Shaq, matters, but he's also only 6'6" without an elite level, super huge, super bulky player build, so he's kind of small, and that hurts him a little bit defensively as well. Obviously, badge-wise, he's incredible, but in general, the card could be a little better. No removal enforcer on Hoff at only 6'6". I mean, there are things to critique. I think he's actually the worst. Shaq probably is the second worst. I think third worst at number 9 would be Luka Doncic. Luka is basically the same as that MJ, but he does have Hoff Immovable Enforcer, which MJ only had on gold. And I will say also, while his release is bad, I think I probably prefer it a little bit to MJ's. Pro 2 fade also, again, perfect sigs. Trey escape, John Wall drag back, Jamal Murray behind the back, Kyrie dribble style, all that type of stuff. The card is great. His release just isn't very good, but he is both bigger than MJ and has Hoff Immovable Enforcer, which MJ does not. And in my opinion, that puts him at number 9, but I still think he is one of the worst 100 overalls. Number 8. Unfortunately, is going to be the other Mav, Dirk Nowitzki, and it's kind of for the same reason as the previous cards, and it's just quite simply that his release isn't very good. 7 foot with a 7'3" wingspan, and he can't play small forward. If he could play small forward, he'd be higher on this list, but at power forward, his size is not dominant. It's one of the things that keeps a couple of these cards pretty high on this list, actually, and I'll talk about them when we get to them. But I will say Dirk does have Kyrie dribble style, Kemba escape, Jamal Murray behind the back, John Wall drag back, really good sigs, and his animations are pretty good. I like this card. He was fun to use when I tried him for sure, and I think he's very, very good, but I still think he's probably number 8 on this list. Number 7 is going to be Kevin Garnett, again, for the same release, or the same reason, which is the release, I should say. Badge-wise, really good. Even does have the Hoff handles for days, which is nice. Incredible defensively, of course. Pro 2 fade, Kyrie, Francis, Kemba escape, John Wall drag back, and Jamal Murray behind the back. All the perfect sigs, the elite fade. Again, just a mediocre release. The reason he's a little higher on the list is because of his positional versatility, being able to play the small forward position. But I still think he's not that incredible because his release is pretty bad. And honestly, that's the overriding theme with literally all of these 100 overalls, unfortunately. Like Magic, 6'9" with a 7-foot wingspan. He's the tallest point guard in the game, at least of all the viable ones. He's really good in a lot of reasons, and his size at point guard is super valuable, but his release sucks, again. And, like, The reason he's high on this list is because he's 6'9" at the point guard position. But again, his release is not great. And even on very quick, all these base releases just are not all that good. But Hoff movable enforcer, 6'9", really versatile, really good. Got the key shooting badges. He's still insane. Very, very good. Very glitchy. I think number, 6 on the list seems pretty fair. Number 5 is going to be Tracy McGrady. He's one of the very few on this list that actually does have an elite release. And he's 6'8" at shooting guard, 7'2" wingspan. Think about it. Number 1, the shooting guard position is insanely souped. There are multiple cards at the shooting guard position that I think are just downright better than T-Mac that are available in this game right now. Guys like Glenn Rice, Dr. J, maybe even a couple other shooting guards as well. And when you're not even the best card at your own position, it's kind of hard for you to be super duper duper high on this list. But he's definitely in the discussion. He's a very, very good card. His release itself is actually very nice as well, and he's got great sigs, great animations. I wish he had a better fade than Kobe, but I don't think Kobe fade's a bad fade at all. He's got Hoff movable enforcer at 6'8" at shooting guard. Like, the card is really, really good. I just think it's fair to put him number 5 because the top few are really, really good. Now, I understand Kareem animation-wise is not quite as good at number 4, but he's 7'2" with a 7'5" wingspan and an afro player build that makes him look about 7'4". Player build, size, all that type of stuff is the reason this card is good because he will lock down Wemby and even like Yao, for example, those types of cards. That is what makes this Kareem so good is, yes, I understand his badges are not as complete as some of the cards below him and stuff, but and his SIGs aren't as good as some of the cards below him even. I understand that, but I think truly his size and his player build as 100 overall and how glitchy he is and how big he is, and the fact that his animations I don't think suck the way that Shaq's do. I actually think Kareem's release is pretty smooth and pretty easy, even though it's not incredible still. I think he does deserve to be this high on this list because of how physically dominant he is. Kind of the same argument for Giannis at number 3, 7 foot with a 7'4" wingspan. Incredible card. Like, amazing, amazing card. And it's mostly because of, again, his size. Because he's missing off handles for days, missing Hoff Limitless, Agent 3, a couple other badges. He's got every badge in the game, though, at least on gold, which is nice. And so he's literally missing nothing. And then he's got Pro 2 Fade. He's got the insane animations. And he's got his release out very quick, which, honestly, I don't think is bad. He is, obviously, distinctly one of the very best cards in the game, without a doubt. And I think you could make an argument for Giannis even at number 2 if you wanted to. But again, physical dominance is the main thing that keeps him so high at 7 foot at small forward. Number 2 is going to be LeBron. The reason that I say Bron at number 2 is quite simply because I love LeBron's animations defensively and as a slasher and all that type of stuff. I think Bron animates better. He's also 6'9" with 7 foot wingspan. I feel like he's just a better version of Magic. He's going to defend better than Magic. I like his release a little better than Magic. Movement wise, he's the same as Magic. I had a Magic a few spots lower. Maybe I should have Bron a spot or 2 lower, but maybe I'm a little biased. I don't know. Regardless, I love Bron cards this year in my team. I loved his Opal. I still regret quick selling it, honestly. And although now I have small forwards, so I don't need to regret it anymore, to be fair. But this Bron card is amazing. If I was locking in the 100 overall set, or with those collector level cards, which I don't think I am at this point, but if I was, I would pick Bron and Giannis. Those are the 2 cards that I would pick out of that. Unfortunately, the best 100 overall in the game, number 1, is Yao Ming, who is the only 100 overall who's not available in that option pack. Totally intentional, of course. He's 7'6", with a 7'9" wingspan and perfect stats. No card in the game can compare to 7'6" with a 7'9" wingspan and perfect stats. I understand his animations are not unbelievably amazing, but it is the same argument as with Kareem, except much, much worse, because he's bigger than Kareem and stronger than Kareem and more versatile than Kareem, and he is just an unfair, realistically just a glitch of a card that does not have a realistic counter in this game right now. As much as you can say that guys like Wemby or Kareem or even like an Artist Gilmore can compete, nobody can really stop Yao. He is one of the most dominant cards in my team history, and he really is every year, but this 100 overall is 100% just unbelievably insane. So that is the best 100 overall in the game, and that is ranking every 100 overall from worst to best right now in my team. So I hope y'all did, number 1, enjoy the video, and if you did, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'll be back with more 2K content very, very soon, and I appreciate y'all. Peace.